I have a theory about how the idea for Escape from Tarkov came about. Come with me as I take you to the mythical realm of Russia in the 90s. See, when you live in a country defined entirely by its adherence to not giving a fuck whilst being a badass, you become really good at being a badass at an early age. And Big Papa Nikita, the wizard in charge of Tarkov, he used to be Baby Nikita. And Baby Nikita? Oh, man, this little dude was a hardcore motherfucker. Gambling, drugs, beer being considered a soft drink. These are all the staples of young growing Russian boys' adolescence, and like any other growing boy, Nikita grew up hurling insults at strangers playing games over the internet. And boy did he love those games. While playing a game of Counter-Strike one time with both nipples and a butt cheek hooked up to a car battery hanging over a tub of water, Nikita thought to himself, "This game is not effectively giving me the feeling one would categorize as shitting myself in fear for my own life. I must make game that can convey the feelings in its purest form. Kind of like what those Japanese dudes at Capcom did with zombies, I want to do for Russian guy with AK." So he did a bunch of stuff, sniffed some drugs maybe, I don't know, who cares, and a couple years later, boom! Capcom gives us a genre of survival horror all based around going through a horrific situation with zombies and surviving it. And then Escape from Tarkov comes out a couple years later and does the exact same thing with multiplayer and Russian dudes with AKs instead of zombies. Escape from Tarkov is as close to combat as a lot of us nerdy types are going to get short of a weekend paintball trip, and thankfully you could do Tarkov in air conditioning. A lot of games toss around the word hardcore when it comes to mechanics, but Tarkov makes those other games look like arcade shooters. And I'm talking one of those shitty arcade shooters that nobody likes playing, like Area 51. That game was garbage. I'm a firm believer that video games can teach in the same way that a movie can pique interest about a certain subject. And like Metal Gear Solid 2 taught me about memes and giant robots, Tarkov has taught me that anyone in military media not wearing a helmet is just kind of fucking stupid. Every single piece of equipment in Tarkov has a use and monetary value to it, and that includes every goddamn bullet. How do you pick up ammo in any other shooting game? You run over enemy weaponry and have faith that your magnetic nutsack is going to scoop up the bullets for you, right? Besides that, maybe you pick up a cardboard box full of ammo and have it turn into a magazine that fits your pistol automatically. Tarkov not only has you taking stock of every empty magazine in your inventory, it also has you going to the shop to check prices on not shitty ammo, because this game forces you to look at the quality of the ammunition you take with you into the field. Tarkov has you keeping track of your equipped tactical rig and its inventory capacity, your body armor and its limitations, and whatever medical supplies you have with you. All stuff that other games handle for you like they think you're some kind of dummy or something. When you drop into a match of Call of Duty, how much gear do you think your character is bringing into that match? How much should your character spend on ammo? Why is it that when you get shot, all you get is red on the sides of the screen for a couple seconds and then you're chilling? Hell, in Tarkov there's even a separate command to check the bullets in your magazine. There's a procedure to bring yourself back to health if you get shot. Hell, they're even making it so you can get addicted to painkillers because you need to use them so often to survive. Tarkov is a brutal experience at first. You need to learn how to laugh at your own failure and really learn how to better yourself after every death. You need to take the time to learn not only the game's mechanics, but also a whole heap of subsystems that if slept on could fuck you harder than Gilbert Gottfried fucked up 50 Shades of Grey for me.
His hands reach around and touch my breasts, and my nipples pucker at his touch.
Holy shit, this is hot.
Tarkov may seem like another military FPS on the surface, but it's actually pretty freaking deep. Just like Resident Evil 2's zombie stuff may seem pretty shallow at first, but it also hides deeper game design system stuff. I want to talk about what makes a survival horror game a survival horror game. Can we talk about what makes a survival horror game a survival horror game? I've been down to talk to you about what makes a survival horror game a survival horror game. It's this. Right fucking here. Right there. Did you catch that? You watched the whole clip, right? You know what? I'll just rewind it just to make sure you got it all in. Okay, you caught it that time, right? Okay, just keep it in your head for now, and I promise I'll get back to it later. Survival horror, in as simple of a way as I could put it, is this. It is two parts, one survival and one horror. Survival is being stuck in one area with limited resources and being tasked to complete objectives, usually in the manner of going out and collecting shit. Horror is the use of the environment, atmosphere, and game mechanics to elicit a sense of fear in the player whilst doing the previously mentioned going out and collecting shit. And before some douchebag in the back says something, you don't necessarily need to have zombies or dinosaurs in your game for it to be survival horror. Because if you think about it, war is scarier than both of those things combined. And I know you believe me because we've all seen Saving Private Ryan, that part in the beginning where the Nazis are just straight fucking the Americans coming up the beaches of Normandy. We've all seen that, okay? We know war is hell. Steven Spielberg taught us that as children. Tarkov is all spun around the idea of loss. Every time you drop into a match, short of a few precious items you tuck into your butthole, everything you bring with you is up for grabs if you catch a bullet in your favorite vital organ. This makes it so that while you're first learning how to play, you'll tend to run cheaper equipment so as to not put too much up for grabs if you buy the farm early. When you run cheap gear, you can safely assume you'll be outmatched by more luxurious players, and you won't be able to carry as much loot, but better equipped PMCs are putting up a lot more rubles, and anybody could die in one bullet if their luck's bad enough. Both of these types of loadouts actively pull on you while you play Tarkov, and through the gear fear and variable time and weather stuff, it makes for a game that's a lot more dynamic than pretty much any other multiplayer shooter out there. Every action you take in a round of Tarkov has weight to it. Every bullet fired, location looted, and every second you spend wondering if that was actually a bush or just your imagination can and will affect every other player in your game. Tarkov is a multiplayer shooter in which you can go an entire match without having shot a single round, but still feel like a badass motherfucker at the end of it. Do me a favor, dear viewer, can you visualize something for me? Just stare into this blank screen real quick and just in your head, I want you to picture something. It's a warm summer night. The air smells like your mom's famous meatballs. You're playing Resident Evil 2 Remake because future you traveled backwards in time and gave this video game from the future to your 12-year-old self. You are literally the coolest fucking kid in your school. While playing this game, you spot a zombie standing around all menacing-like, and you think to yourself,
Listen, dude, you got like 20 years of gaming experience telling you to shoot that dude right in the face. But then on the other side, you're also thinking, whoa, man, you might, need the bullet you're gonna put in that dude's noggin, later on, dude.
So what do? You sidestep that shambling bastard with the power of 1,000 suns in the name of resource management. And remember how I told you I'd come back to that RE3 clip? I got to reuse that clip from earlier, and it got some plot relevance, even though I just got to save myself some time editing. And that's the key term here, kids. Resource management. You think Battle McDuty Field gives a crap about reloading on a half-empty magazine? No! His magnet scrote is gonna perfectly stack his enemy's ammo right into a new magazine, materializing in his taint. He doesn't care. But baby Hef playing Tarkov for the first time with 300,000 rubles in the bank and no idea how anything works is counting every bullet like it's made out of Nestle Crunch Bars. Because those Crunch Bars are better than fucking gold. The sense of loss and escape from Tarkov has you sneaking around pulling Big Boss moves because, well, a lot like Big Boss, you're the one signing the checks that are paying for your dude's AK.
My boy! Look what he did to my boy!
I hit him in the arm once.
Okay. Oh shit!
Is he pushing?
Yeah. Run!
Run! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Military games usually have a sort of feel to them, right? Like if I close my eyes and hear the words Call of Duty, somewhere in the depths of my brain, between that scene where Neo dodges bullets and the smell of hot dogs, I visualize an angry-looking chubby soldier dude with a helmet and sunglasses yelling, "Ooh-rah!" at the top of his lungs. See, these other games make it so that you want to shoot the angry foreigners because you get swept up in a haze of patriotic fervor, right? You're not supposed to think of anyone on the other team having any sort of competency because you're supposed to feel like what I'm guessing Steven Seagal feels like all the time. When you play Tarkov, you treat everything on the field with you with respect because most of the time, anything in the game can kill you if it gets lucky. And yeah, that includes the AI scabs. It ain't really like they're that competent, but when the Tarkov gods decide you're eating a bag of dicks, scabs are more than happy to serve it up to you. Spotting an enemy player before they see you is usually an easy kill in other shooters, but unless you're packing a fancy scope or have luck on par with a multiple lottery winner, that don't really mean shit in Tarkov. See, come closer, viewer, or turn your headphone speakers up. I want to let you in on a secret. In real life, guns are just like tools that use explosions to hurl chunks of metal, like, really far away. Look, humans aren't dumb. We made these suckers best as we could, but really we're just hurling chunks of hot metal out of really well-designed pipes with these things, and they ain't always that accurate. Talk in terms of Turkey Tarkov, if you're using cheap ammo, all you're really doing is just letting the enemy know where you are with the power of your amazingly shitty misses. But you don't have to worry your pretty little head about that. You don't have to fight every dude you see in Tarkov. See? It's not about the PvP. It's all about the loot, baby! Like I was saying earlier during the survival horror part, your objective isn't to crush the enemy team. I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that if you're a fucking Chad. But really, you just want to grab loot, complete quests, and escape the fuck out of Tarkov. Normally, survival games all tend to revolve around making progress toward that eventual goal of having a base and establishing a modicum of civilization in a ravaged world. Tarkov, however, is about pushing forward through the crushing grip of capitalism in a ravaged, miserable world. Look, maybe it's not traditional survival horror, but the marked rooms and Resident Evil style item manipulation of menus really gave me some vibes when I first started my Tarkov career. The atmosphere in Tarkov feels straight fucked, yo. I got really similar vibes actually running around Resident Evil 3's Raccoon City. You may have found some cool loot, but the environment just gives off that vibe that it's seen constant warfare because of the shenanigans that kick off the events of Escape from Tarkov. And while the gameplay may be more rooted in hardcore military shooters than fixed camera angle zombie shooting, the soul of this game still feels like a survival horror experience. Now, I don't have proof, but I think Tarkov, unlike other FPS games with a fluid sense of movement, is purposefully designed to feel a bit stiff and bulky to add to its gameplay tension. And just like fixed camera angles and limited ammo ratchet up tension in classic Resi, Tarkov leaves you vulnerable to flub the controls and just goof an enemy player encounter. And I'm telling you, you don't need a biological organism to scare you when an engagement with the enemy player is way more terrifying. Moving through a map end to end, not knowing what to expect, carrying just enough to be able to grab anything important you come across but still defend yourself. I don't know about you, but A game of Tarkov to me sounds like trying to get to the next save room without knowing what's next. That sense of dread and unease and not knowing if you can handle a situation, buckled with that overall atmosphere of oppressive Russian post-apocalypse, it feels as good to overcome in Tarkov as it does in a good Resi game. Not to mention the Stalker series that Tarkov was birthed from, like a kinky Russian anal bead baby. You know what? Just to piss off the purist, can I make the claim that the Stalker series is open-world survival horror? I mean, shit. If you wanted to claim no grotesque Cronenberg creatures means no survival horror badge, look at this fucking monstrosity right here. Look at it. Looks like a fucking sentient ball sack. Thanks for watching, everybody.